Our East China team, and this morning I have the pleasure of introducing these new faces to you. As I read your name, please stand. Brenda Goulette, Noon Aide, Bell River Elementary. Tim Heigl, vocal music at St. Clair Middle School and St. Clair High School. Stephanie Kosis, social worker. Dale Malberg, teacher at Marine City High School. Jennifer McLarney, teacher at Bell River Elementary. Diana McNichol, teacher at St. Clair High School. Anna Merriman, media pro at Marine City Middle School. Teresa Pels, noon aide at Palms Elementary. Francie Quayle, athletic secretary at St. Clair High School. Paul Short, counselor at St. Clair High School. Jennifer Stoltz, noon aide at Gearing. Twyla Waite, art teacher, Riverview East. Virginia Wykert, teacher at St. Clair High School. Welcome. Also today, traditionally, we take a moment to recognize those of you who have been with us for a while. Thank you for your many years of service to the East China School District.
Celebrating 2018 Service Recognition. Service recognition is held annually at the Opening Day celebration to recognize personnel for their continued service to the East China School District. 15 years of service. Janet Gangwer, teacher. Amy McNabb, teacher. 20 years of service. William Andrews, custodian. Tammy Arceri, teacher. Roger Beeden, teacher. Edward DeHunt, teacher. Lynn Eitner, teacher. Vanessa Kerr, teacher. Matthew Larson, teacher. Kevin Lehman, teacher. Leslie Mansell, custodian. William Nesbitt, teacher. Jason Perrin, teacher. Norma Pringle, teacher. Jessica Simmons, teacher. Julie Stevens, administrative secretary. Karen Westrick, teacher. Terry Williams, teacher. Kelly Woodhouse, teacher. 25 years of service. James Bishop, teacher. Kelly Carnahan, teacher. Stephen Mott, teacher. Amy Walton, teacher. 30 years of service. Michelle Deluge, teacher. Deborah Jones, administrative secretary. Denise Mead, administrative secretary. Tamara Rowling, teacher. Robert Rose, custodian. 35 years of service. Janet Cornish, teacher. All honorees, please stand and be recognized. Congratulations and thank you for your years of dedicated service to the East China School District.
Wow, we have some people that have been here for a while. Thank you very much for all of those years of service to East China students. Well, once again, welcome back. We are lucky. We work in this profession that lets us reboot with a fresh start, a new dawn, a new day each year. I hope that everyone had a great summer and that you were able to relax a little bit. Starting brand new each school year is unique to us in the business of education. The buildings get a fresh coat of wax on the floors, maybe some paint on the walls, the carpets get cleaned. It's a new day. Hopefully all of you were able to take some time this summer to enjoy the warmer temperatures and refresh yourselves. I had big plans for myself this summer. I was going to work out on a regular basis, eat healthy, and go for a morning walk to start my day. Well, some of that happened, and some of it will probably never happen. But I feel refreshed, and I'm ready for a great school year. It's a new dawn, a new day, and I'm feeling fine. Never in a million years will I sing that line, but I sure do feel it. Our students, they leave us for a couple of months. We get a chance to close each school year and then get ready to start a new one. It creates this cycle of new dawns and new days. In my classroom, at the end of a school year, I used to take down all my posters and such, reposition them somewhere else, move the desk, reorganize things a bit, just to give the room a new look and a different energy. I learned each year different things that worked and things that didn't work, continually looking to build on my experience to make things better and more interesting in my classroom for my students. I taught biology and chemistry. I knew that content forwards and backwards. I knew what I was supposed to teach. I had pacing guides of when to teach each standard, but each and every year I tweaked my delivery and process for teaching so that I could reach more students. I didn't spend my downtime brushing up on biology and chem. My time was used to learn how to create new learning relationships with my students. I wanted them to understand more, be more curious in their learning, and challenge themselves without fear or anxiety. When our students return in a few short days, it is a new day for them as well. Last school year may have been their best school year yet, or it may have been one of challenges, but this year is a new one, and we get to try to reach our students in new ways. And if you think about it, these students of ours arrive that first day wondering, what are we going to do? What kind of year are they going to have? It's like they're saying to us, okay, I'm here. What kind of year are we going to have together? They really are looking to us for cues and for guidance as to what kind of year it will be. It's a new day, and your words to students are important. How we greet our students, how we answer their questions, the conversations each of us has with them. Every one of these experiences shapes their growth, how they feel about themselves, their day, and their school year. This school year, we have a lot of cool new things. We have professional learning communities that I may have mentioned once or twice for our professional development. We're going to administer the NWEA assessment. We have the Positivity Project, PBIS, the Linked Up program, Lunch Buddies. I could go on. And all of these efforts are to help us to understand how best to reach our students. Giving the NWEA and common assessments will give us good data, but the data is not so that we can make fancy charts and graphs or to track some state-mandated growth percentage. Yes, I said it out loud. I am not concerned about what the percentage the state thinks this year is a good one to measure students' growth. They can't make up their minds, and they do not know our students. We are going to measure growth, but we're going to measure it in ways that make sense to us as educators and for our students as individuals. We want our students to be challenged, to think critically, and to think about their own thinking. They need high expectations so that they can rise to the challenge. And not only rise to the challenge, but even begin to enjoy the feeling of being challenged and conquering new pathways. There is this excellent educator. Her name is Rita Pearson. You may have heard her speak before, and she is just awesome. And I'd like to share with you today one of her TED Talks about connecting with students. The video, it's about 7 minutes long.
have spent my entire life either at the schoolhouse, on the way to the schoolhouse, or talking about what happens in the schoolhouse. Both my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection. Relationships. James Comer says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. George Washington Carver says all learning is understanding relationships. Everyone in this room has been affected by a teacher or an adult. For years, I have watched people teach. I have looked at the best and I've looked at some of the worst. A colleague said to me one time, they don't pay me to like the kids. They pay me to teach a lesson. The kids should learn it. I should teach it. They should learn it. Case closed. Well, I said to her, you know, kids don't learn from people they don't like. She said, that's just a bunch of hooey. And I said to her, well, your year is going to be long and arduous, dear. Needless to say, it was. Some people think that you can either have it in you to build a relationship or you don't. I think Stephen Covey had the right idea. He said you ought to just throw in a few simple things, like seeking first to understand as opposed to being understood. Simple things like apologizing. You ever thought about that? Tell a kid you're sorry, they're in shock. I taught a lesson once on ratios. I'm not real good with math, but I was working on it. And I got back and looked at that teacher edition. I taught the whole lesson wrong. So I came back to class the next day and I said, look, guys, I need to apologize. I taught the whole lesson wrong. I'm so sorry. They said, that's okay, Miss Pearson. You were so excited. We just let you go. I have had classes that were so low, so academically deficient that I cried. I wondered, how am I going to take this group in 9 months from where they are to where they need to be? And it was difficult. It was awfully hard. How do I raise the self-esteem of a child and his academic achievement at the same time? One year I came up with a bright idea. I told all my students, you were chosen to be in my class because I am the best teacher and you are the best students. They put us all together so we could show everybody else how to do it. One of the students said, really? I said, really? We have to show the other classes how to do it. So when we walk down the hall, people will notice us. So you can't make noise, you just have to strut. And I gave him a saying to say, I am somebody. I was somebody when I came. I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I am powerful and I am strong. I deserve the education that I get here. I have things to do, people to impress, and places to go. And they said, yeah. You say it long enough, it starts to be a part of you. And so, I gave a quiz, 20 questions. Student missed 18. I put a +2 on this paper and a big smiley face. He said, Miss Pearson, is this an F? I said, yes. He said, then why'd you put a smiley face? I said, because you on the roll. You got 2 right, you didn't miss them all. I said, and when we review this, won't you do better? He said, yes, ma'am, I can do better. You see, -18 sucks all the life out of you. +2 said, I ain't all bad. 4 years, I watched my mother take the time at recess to review, go on home visits in the afternoon, buy combs and brushes and peanut butter and crackers to put in her desk drawer for kids that needed to eat, and a washcloth and some soap for the kids who didn't smell so good. See, it's hard to teach kids who stink. And kids can be cruel. And so she kept those things in her desk, and years later, after she retired, I watched some of those same kids come through and say to her, you know, Miss Walker, you made a difference in my life. You made it work for me. You made me feel like I was somebody when I knew at the bottom I wasn't. And I want you to just see what I've become. And when my mama died 2 years ago at 92, there were so many former students at her funeral. It brought tears to my eyes, not because she was gone, but because she left a legacy of relationships that could never disappear. Can we stand to have more relationships? Absolutely. Will you like all your children? Of course not. And you know your toughest kids are never absent. Never. You won't like them all, and the tough ones show up for a reason. It's the connection, it's the relationships. And while you won't like them all, the key is they can never, ever know it. So teachers become great actors and great actresses, and we come to work when we don't feel like it, and we listen to policy that doesn't make sense, and we teach anyway. We teach anyway because that's what we do. Teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. Is this job tough? You betcha. Oh God, you betcha. But it is not impossible. We can do this. We're educators. We're born to make a difference. Thank you so much.
Them skills in the classroom that challenge them and get them ready for a new day. At last year's East China School District graduations for St. Clair High School, Marine City High School, and Riverview East, I listened to great speeches given by our students. And in listening to them, I was so proud of East China and all of you that shape our students and get them ready for their futures. They were each so talented and confident. There is one speech that was given that day that I'd like to share with you today. I believe that it is important to hear her words before we head back to the schools and begin our new school year. This speech was given at the Riverview East graduation ceremony, and it was given by Mackenzie Burns.
"10 years ago, the reality of this day felt like a dream. For those who know me know that I have amazing words for Riverview East High School and its staff. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you guys how much it's personally changed my life. Because beyond all that, we are much more than the stereotypical high school memories. You see, the staff doesn't teach. They garden. Each kid is a freshly dug hole that is watered and given seed, fed sunlight and nurtured until they are able to sprout. Sprout into the little red teen zone, and the canned food and clothing drives, support groups, mentors, bake sales, artists, videographers, event planners, promoters, and supporters of life, love, and community. As our nation hit new lows over the past few years, we hit new highs. We accomplished and overcame. We showed our community that alternative does not have to imply bad. We broke the stigma and learned to flourish in a place that has been misjudged. I hope that we all leave here feeling fulfilled because Riverview has given us so much. Life lessons, forgiveness, kindness, patience, and family. School is inevitable, but that's okay because we conquered it here. Larry Luciano said, "Life is not about warming yourself by the fire. It's about building the fire, and generosity is the match. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody." This is what our school taught us: how to earn happiness for a lifetime. For the next 13 years of your lives, I hope that you have nothing but generosity in your hearts, because over the last 13 years of your lives, someone has given you the gift of free education and supported you up to this moment. In honor of the graduating class of 2018 Panthers, I'd like to read a quote by Albert Einstein. "Everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life being stupid." We are the fish who found the stream and never had to climb a tree.
Mackenzie had a lot of challenges in life and in school. You see, she really needed a champion, someone to believe in her. You can hear the passion and emotion in her voice when she speaks about how much it meant to her to be understood and to be given a chance. This fall, Mackenzie is a freshman at Central Michigan University. We are so proud of her, and she knows that she has people in her corner that will help her achieve her dreams. The quote that Mackenzie used in her speech from Albert Einstein that said, "Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid," reminds us that we need to continue to look for new ways to reach and teach our students. Mackenzie found her champions at Riverview East High School, just like so many of our students find their champions in the hallways, athletic fields, band, vocal, drama opportunities, and classrooms of our schools. Every single day, you have the opportunity to be a child's champion and to make a difference for them. Thank you for all that you do each and every day for our students. I wish you the best school year this year. It's a new day, a new dawn, and I'm feeling fine. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then Terry Mullane will hold the ECEA meeting back here in the auditorium. Thank you again, and have a fantastic year.